of having to stay mum, we are now allowed to say, congratulations, Meghan McCain. You got married yesterday. She'll be back on Monday. Tom, you sounded really gung-ho about that. Did she invite you to the wedding?
No, so I don't have to get her a gift. It's perfect.
Well, it is also tradition to do a little Thanksgiving pre-game thing, and the table is set as something smells really interesting and good. Who's cooking back there?
Thanksgiving.
That's right. So what have you brought us?
You know, see if there's a theme here. Pomegranate, hibiscus, refresher, pomegranate. Popcorn with maple and bacon. Fried chicken with avocado crema. Any of your favorites so far?
Yeah, one or two.
And then there's a Thanksgiving spice trail mix. So these are appetizers you can make for Thanksgiving if you want, or just the day before.
Chicken?
And they'll come
I love the meat. That's the appetizer to the meat.
Exactly. Very American. Very appreciative. But I'll be here all hour, so when you're hungry, I'll come back.
Thank you.
We love this. This won't be the last time you see him today. Believe me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rocco. We'll see you in a bit. So let's get to some hot topics. Now, the former reality show star in the White House has broken his silence about... Well, I thought I would change it up.
Change it up.
Has broken his silence on Alabama state race. Take a look.
We don't need a liberal person in there, a Democrat, Jones. I've looked at his record. It's terrible in crime. It's terrible in the border. It's terrible in the military.
Mr. President, is an accused child molester better than a Democrat? Is an accused
Well, he denies it. Look, he denies it. I mean, if you look at what is really going on and you look at all the things that have happened over the last 48 hours, he totally denies it.
So that's good enough for him.
Well, it sounds like the Putin meddling in the like. Don't worry, I asked him. He denied it.
That's right. It's exactly
We're
right.
good.
So I guess all you have to do is deny it, because that's what he did.
Yeah.
And I guess you're in the clear, huh?
Well, I don't know. The Central Park Five were not only denied that they were involved, they also were exonerated by DNA evidence, and he still believed that they were guilty.
Well, when it serves his agenda, and when it distracts from, his misdeeds, then he says...
Well, I guess all women are liars.
Yeah, but
right?
you know what's interesting? The New York Post, which is a very right-wing tabloid paper in New York City, I'm with the perv, it says. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty interesting, because this is Rupert Murdoch's newspaper, so it shows you that perversion is bipartisan.
Well, I can understand.
That's true, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
I can understand why he needs a Republican in that seat, because he needs to pass this tax bill, because he's been so ineffective up till, this month.
Yeah.
But you would think he would put principle before partisanship.
Why would you think that? Really? You really think that?
Because it has to come from the top. And so this
Have
guy...
you not been watching the last several months? Have you not seen what's happening? Principle?
But I want better.
No, you want better.
We want
better. We all want better.
We want better.
Well,
But come on.
The thing that also is, if you read articles on this,
I don't know where you're talking.
people keep coming out, politicians and otherwise, like, I want more proof. There's a fact at here.
Yeah.
There's not going to be video, audio. This is 20 and 30 years ago. You have to read it and use your own head. You have to see how many sources there are, how many people confirm
That
witnesses.
Washington Post article was very well sourced.
Maybe this will help people sort of understand why some people are not buying the story. Local interview with Roy Moore from back in July does not help his case, where he talks about the first time he saw his wife. Take a look.
I saw her at a dance recital, and I was standing at the back of the auditorium, and I saw her up front, and I remember her name. It was Kayla Kaiser, KK. 8 years later or something, I met her, and when she told me her name, I remembered KK.
Now, according to our sources, his wife was about 15 years old at the time of the recital. and he was 29.
What? We don't even want to go to a recital.
I know. I was just going to say, what is he doing at a recital? Unless
at a high school recital. My kid is in a high school recital all the time, and you have to drag me to go.
As someone here that during this time was when the mall had said he was someone they had their eye out for, you know, and he was showing up at football games again without a child in the game.
And recitals.
But you usually have some relation to someone at these young events to attend at all.
And you don't even want to be there.
Like,
You know, but what you said is interesting because now teenagers are safer at the Alabama Mall than they are around the Senate. That's the story here. In other words, he's going to be in the Senate. I hope that Alabama steps up and doesn't vote for him. I'm really begging Alabama right now. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know.
It's the same thing we said yesterday. If all you want is to pass legislation, the message you're sending out to your daughters and your wives is that it doesn't matter if somebody grabs you in the crotch. It doesn't matter if someone comes on to you when they're 100 and you're 4. Doesn't matter. We want the tax credit. We don't care about anything else. If that sits well with y'all, then you got your dude. If that doesn't sit well with you, maybe you have to make some adjustments. Now, people keep saying, well, look at Bill Clinton, look at this one. Okay, we did look at Bill Clinton.
And we impeached him.
We impeached him. And we impeached him because we heard all this stuff, we got all this information, and we kicked his behind out. Now, it's not, I can't be mad at him if when he left you in great ways because you had all your 401ks were great, everything was great. Then we had, 8 years of Mr. Bush, who sort of had a different thought process about what America was and how she should be gone. And when he left us in dire straits. Then comes Obama, who many people, but wait. But then comes Obama, who spends 8 years fighting to do stuff and has America gets convinced by Fox News that you were worse off under Obama than you were under Bush. And he's convinced, they've convinced America of this. So, his wife, Bill Clinton's wife, gets her behind kicked every time. People bring those women around her. They bring those women around her. That, to me, is not how you do stuff. You want to get something done, then put it up. Put it up and say, here's what it is, here's what it's got to be. So, new guy in the White House, we're saying to you, you've got accusers. People are shaking their fingers at you. They're scared. What are you going to do to make them feel better? That's the question Joy has asked, that's the question Sonny has asked, and it's the question Sarah has asked. We are all asking, what are you going to do to make this better for women? Because it doesn't feel like you making it safe for us. It just doesn't.
Not when he's saying, Roy Moore, I believe you. He's denying it,
Probably
and
a
I
safer
believe
route
you.
if he knows things are coming down the pipes. Just deny it.
Speaking of pipes.
Resist, resist, resist.
We'll be right back. We're back. Rocco! What is this?
You're eating, Troy.
Please, I'm so fat
It's
again.
Creole shrimp gumbo, classic Thanksgiving dish.
Very nice.
Is this low-cal stuff, Rocco?
Actually, these are all from my new book, Rocco's Healthy Delicious.
Yeah.
So they are calorie correction and eat without guilt.
I did Rocco's diet one time. He's the food that he made, and I lost about 30 pounds.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has come back. It's like a boomerang on my behind.
You stop reading the book. You got to keep it up.
I know, but he has to. It's good. He was nagging me too. I need that.
We did well together. We did well together.
That's
Thank you.
delicious.
Enjoy.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
Mark.
Speaking of which, millions of Americans will be around the table for Thanksgiving tomorrow, and the conversation can go south in a hurry. The website Mashable lists the worst questions you'll be hearing, like, so you're still single? And I don't think the NFL players should kneel. What do you think?
And what about Roy Moore? Is he coming too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently all the
Do you
time.
think Roy Moore did it? I mean, why would someone wait decades to say it now?
Do you think Roy Moore loiters lemonade stands?
I feel like you should start out light with, like, how's the turkey? Sonny, how's the gumbo?
It never
Like,
starts out light
no,
at my
it
house.
doesn't.
She has
Never.
people who voted for Trump, so you have issues there, yeah.
Yeah, I've already warned my mother. No political talk. That's not going to happen. So I have a safe room actually in my house.
You had
for
this last
Thanksgiving.
year.
I had it last year.
What do you mean? What do they do? They go there?
I have a room, and I'm like, if people are getting into these kinds of discussions, just take it into the room, and that
Put
way.
on this jacket.
That way
Don't
it's like
touch each
one-on-one,
other.
and it doesn't like mess up the
Yeah.
vibe of Thanksgiving because it's supposed to be family and friends getting
And,
together.
well, alcohol helps fuel that.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, yes, the alcohol gets your lips moving,
Yeah.
but the tryptophan in the turkey puts you out. So
Yeah.
you have
But
to
never
give
in
them a lot
time.
of turkey.
Never
in time.
Never before somebody doesn't say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I say less alcohol, more turkey, and more love.
This
now,
is good.
perhaps,
Is it good?
Yeah, it is really good.
LeVar Burton, you know, the supporters of the reality star in the White House right now, tried to wage a vicious attack against LeVar Ball, the dad of one of the UCLA players arrested in China who's been feuding with the new guy. The problem? People don't do their homework, so what did they do? They went after the wrong LeVar. And they sent their crappy tweets to LeVar Burton. Let me just point out which is which. Okay? Reading Rainbow.
I love reading Rainbow.
Roots, okay? All kinds of other stuff. Star Trek. Okay? Dad of ball player. Now listen, I know some people don't realize that we don't all look alike. I feel I should point out that we don't all have one name. No, they don't look anything alike, and that's the piss off here. Because what people wrote was so vicious and nasty, and when LeVar Burton said, hey, I'm not that guy, people said, yes, you are. So let me say this. Let me say this. There are different spellings. Yes, they are two black men, but as you know, we don't all look alike, and we don't have one name. Some of us might.
Well, I
don't know if there's a lot of whoopies.
There aren't a lot of whoopies,
There's
but I
not.
will say I get tweets and emails for Sonny Anderson all the time, the chef, asking me for recipes.
Yeah, but
and I'm like,
but they're not saying crappy things to you.
Well,
this is like pretty bad.
I also
Do they like
get
her recipes?
They love her recipes.
Yeah.
I also get Sunny Leone, who I think is an Indian actress, a movie star in India, but she was a former porn star, and I get a lot of that too. I'm like, they're like, we like your movie. I'm
Don't
like,
Google Sonny over there. You might get
I'm like,
more
what
than you
movie?
planned.
the moral of the
referring to?
story is check before you do that.
Yeah.
Check. We'll be right back. David Cassidy was a big heartthrob for lots of people back in the day, and he passed away yesterday at 67. But thinking back and looking at some of the footage from the Partridge Family and just kind of remembering what sitcoms looked like back then. Were you, I'm looking at the wrong person. I'm looking at you.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
right.
David Cassidy.
I know, but you wouldn't
Yeah, you wouldn't have had his posters up.
No.
I watched the Partridge Family.
I didn't want to age you. I figured I'd wait till you said
I'll embrace
something.
it.
All right.
No, I watched the Partridge Family, and I was surprised to hear he had dementia.
Yeah.
It runs in his family.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? So young, 67, to deal with not remembering things and people. That must have been very hard.
What a terrible thing to happen to somebody.
Yeah. Did you have the posters up on your wall?
No, I'm too old for him. I mean,
That would have been
he's
very
around
Roy
my
Moore
age.
of
He's
you.
close to my age. No. I was watching. Calm down. I was watching All in the Family in the 70s. Isn't it the 70s? Yeah. I was
Wasn't
watching.
Brady Bunch the 70s? No. Yes.
Yeah.
Brady
they're
Bunch.
all
I was
of
watching
them
the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Partridge
So I was
Family.
there.
But you were watching from the crib.
Well, I was watching it reruns too. but-
Yeah, you were watching reruns. Yeah, no, we saw first runs.
Yeah,
Okay.
the monkeys.
Yeah. Look,
It's good.
tell me if you remember this. I remember when they decided that the Flintstones were going to have a baby.
Love the Flintstones.
And they put out a contest to see who would name her. And I remember sending in, my mom and my brother and I sent in several names.
Aw.
Do you remember that at all, the Flintstones?
I love the Flintstones.
Flintstones were great. And you know what else was great? Your dog.
Oh, we have a special announcement. My little girl Trixie turns 15 today.
The dog. You're talking about the dog.
This is my little Peach,
Yeah.
who I love dearly. It also is my wedding anniversary, but we only made it 3 years so far, so we'll wait till 15 to announce that one.
All right. We'll be right back. So we have room for one more appetizer. Rocco!
Empanadas. Now, in the book, they're made with chicken and mushroom.
Right.
But in honor of my favorite Whoopi, I made them turkey bolognese empanadas.
Ah, fantastic.
So that's what I suggested. You break, them in half.
Break them in half
and then
dip them.
Okay, exactly. Yes.
So, like, if people want to make these wonderful recipes and appetizers for, like, Thanksgiving, how can they get the recipe?
Thanksgiving doesn't have to be a total waistline fail, right? You can make up a little bit maybe the next day. You can get all the recipes in this book, as well as 250 others. And everyone in the studio audience is going to go home with one copy of this book.
You can catch Rocco on GMA tomorrow morning as part of GMA's Big Thanksgiving Show. He'll be answering all kind of viewers' questions, last-minute Turkey Day questions. He'll be over there. You see him tomorrow.
Turkey 911 tomorrow,
Turkey 911. And for you, Sonny, you got a special thing going on Friday you want people to know about.
I do. I've been working on a special for 2020. It's called A Killing on the Cape, and it's about the Krista Worthington murder in Cape Cod and Truro. She was a fashion writer from New York. She had one child, Ava Worthington, 2 years old, who was found with her body. She had been with the body for like 36 hours. And they... The child, yes. And they accused a black sanitation worker of her murder after a 3-year search. And he has always maintained his innocence. I had the opportunity to interview him. And I believe, as a prosecutor, I really believe almost everyone is guilty. I do not think he's guilty. I think there is a man in jail that shouldn't be there.
Right.
And
DNA evidence?
Yes. And we've worked... he says it was a consensual sexual relationship, and people didn't believe him.
Why not?
Why would this fashion writer, this gorgeous, wealthy fashion writer, have consensual sex with a black sanitation worker? And it's really a fascinating story about race and privilege, very relevant for our times. And I have to tell you, the 2020 team has done a remarkable job on this. It's a 2-hour documentary, and it looks like a film.
Great.
And it's beautiful.
So, So a 2-hour special edition of 2020 at Killing on the Cape airs Friday at 9 p.m. right here on ABC.
I see that.
So here's something to think about at Thanksgiving tomorrow after the earthquake that devastated Haiti in 2010. About 60,000 Haitian folks fled to the U.S. They've now been given until 2019 to get out of America. So if you want to think about what we're thankful for, be thankful that we are in a country that we grew up in, we were born here. And if we can find any other ways to welcome people instead of tossing folks out after they've managed to get their lives together, and take a minute to think how lucky as Americans we are, maybe Thanksgiving will take on a different meaning for folks.
This is Trump's way of feeding his base. The base is saying, where's the wall? What are you doing on immigration? He can't get any of that done. So he's sending Haitians out. I mean, he's a mean girl. He's mean.
This allowance to have them work legally in the country.
Temporary protected status.
Temporary protected status, and it's there for countries where people are fleeing something awful.
Yeah.
So the idea that they were here and safe and fine and working, and then now to be like booted, it's just.
Does he ever do anything that's? Does he ever do anything that's nice and that's heartfelt? I can't find it.
Well, he pardoned some turkeys yesterday.
Who's that, Manafort and Flint?
But I do want to say, you know, the Haitians were given temporary protected status. And remember, between the earthquake and now, there have been hurricanes that have hit Haiti. Haiti has not fully recovered. So, you know, our government is sending people back to a country that hasn't rebuilt, to homes that no longer exist.
Doesn't have the infrastructure to support the return of all the people.
So I hope we can get together as citizens and weigh on this government and say, this is wrong. This is wrong.
Maybe they can't go till 2019. So with a few prayers from people, he'll be out of office by the end of next year. And somebody else will say they can stay.
We'll be right back. Musicians of all time is breaking all kinds of records these days on biggest North American tour in and at the CMA and that is meant to come by. Hang on a minute. Please welcome the very fabulous Garth Brooks. You just won your record-breaking 5th CMA award.
Yes, ma'am.
For Entertainer of the Year, and last week you did it again.
Wow.
So you have 6 of them. So 6 went. So when you heard your name again, did you think, oh, come on now?
Right before they said it, I looked at my wife. I said, I just don't feel it this year. And Reba goes, Garth Brooks. And I don't remember anything after that.
Yeah.
It was
I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it.
It was great. It was sweet. And to get it handed to you by the entertainer, Reba McEntire, there's an entertainer. That's cool.
This magical night had a little controversy because you weren't feeling well. And
No, I was feeling fine. I was just in the middle of like 12 shows in 10 days.
Okay.
So the voice just was gone.
So you had decided to lip sync that
Yes,
performance. And what happened?
What do you mean?
Did it go like it?
I thought it went off like a charm. It didn't hurt at all. Everything was great.
You're fine.
Now, what happened later was not that nice, but yeah. Just a bunch of people telling me I should have done it. I guess, you know, my thing is if it happened today, I'd still do it the same way because the thing is the day after that, the night after the CMAs, you start a 7-night show run in Spokane. Right. Those people have been waiting all this time. They waited in line. They got those tickets. They tell that stuff. That's who you want your voice for right there.
It's your instrument.
So,
you have to protect it. Like, it's not harmless.
Everybody was sweet though. It's gonna be fine.
Tricia, you mentioned your beautiful wife by your side, and you had the sweetest tweet. You tweeted something, and I always love watching your love with her because you guys are the sweet. You wrote, "This is what we call a winning night. I get to carry the queen's shoes and take her home." You've been married for 12 years. How do you guys hold on to this?
Oh, I got to tell you, man, there's not a guy out there that doesn't understand this. If you're carrying your wife's shoes at the end of the evening, you're also sending a message to every man in the building who she's going home with. Hey, right there. Thank you.
It's true. It's true. It's true. You know, that's why I carry my own shoe.
You're releasing a massive 5-part anthology.
The first part of it, yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's the first part of 5 parts. It'll probably take us 5 or 6 years to get it completed. This first one took about 2.5 years, and then we're about halfway through the second one right now. But this is about the first 5 years, the real innocence of that whole launch. And the cool thing was, we never thought it would happen to us, right? And then when it did, nobody took pictures or anything because we were all running so fast. So we had this big call out to anybody and everybody that was there. And there was the same people that was there all through the first 5 years. So they all donated their pictures, stories, and it's really cool. And the music in it is music that was done. There's a song in there, Miss Yearwood singing, the first thing she ever did of ours before her or I got a record deal. And when you hear it, you'll go, I can see why they looked at that woman and go, gee, you're a star. Because she's been phenomenal since the word go. So.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to ask you, what do you wish you could tell yourself now that you should have known back then? What is this question?
Some version of what you just read.
You know what? I speak whoopee. I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Yes.
I think it's the same thing all of us would tell ourselves is be careful if you want to change anything because it might change everything of where you're at right now.
That's right.
So let's do the obvious thing that's the elephant in the room is Miss Yearwood. I met her 13 months after I was married. I remember everything about the day I met her. But if we would have ended up being together then, one, I don't think our careers would have been what they were, or our marriage might not have survived the 90s. The most important thing, my 3 daughters would not be the perfect way that those 3 daughters are. And they treat her like a mom herself. So it's the best of all worlds. We've come together after the 90s kind of thing was done so we can focus more on loving one another more than chasing the career kind of thing. So it's cool. It's cool to be in this spot. And I got to tell you, I would tell my younger self, there's a lot of things you could change. Don't change a thing. Just bring a helmet is what I'd say. 'Cause it's been a hell of a ride. It's been fun.
It sounds like like one of your songs, which is some of the best gifts we have in this life are unanswered prayers. I don't want to tease anything, but...
No?
No.
Okay.
We love when you sing.
Thank you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What is it about unanswered prayers in you?
I think when I look back and people say, what do you love about your life? I prayed so hard on so many things that I never got. And it was the greatest gift that I never got them.
Amen.
And so your song speaks to me.
Amen. I love it. Yeah, there's your plan, and then there's God's plan, right? And thank God he's in charge. Yeah.
But will you sing for us?
Oh, happy to. Yes, ma'am.
Even as a heathen, I know this.
I think we should do unanswered prayers. Just the other night at a hometown football game, my wife and I ran into my old high school flame. And as I introduced them, the past came back to me, and I couldn't help but think of the way things used to be. 'Cause she was the one that I'd wanted for all time, and each night I'd spend praying that God would make her mine. And if he'd only grant me this wish I wish back then, I'd never ask for anything again. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs, and just because he doesn't answer doesn't mean he don't care. 'Cause some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers.
You come back any old time, anytime, all the time. I would just love you, man.
And you are Better Life, in case you wanted
Thank you very, very much. Very sweet.
And thanks to Garth Brooks, members of our audience are going home with Garth's anthology.
Oh, great.
And if you don't know Garth's music, this will really give you a good beginning. We'll be right back.
holiday deals from over 2,000 retailers, including beauty and luxury. And here to show you how to get in on them, please welcome lifestyle expert Katrina Zisch. You're saving me money, I appreciate it, but can you remind everyone how Ebates works?
Well, Ebates helps its members save on all of the holiday shopping that they were going to be doing anyway. And basically, Ebates gets a commission from the retailers it works with and shares that with members in the form of cash back. It's free for everyone to use. No gimmicks, no coupon cutting, no mail-in rebates, just cash back in the form of a check or a PayPal payment every 3 months.
So no catch?
No catch. You're getting paid to shop. Now, that's not a catch.
Oh, hello.
That's just heaven. Yes.
No, I love this. Let's start with Macy's.
Okay, well, this is an easy way to add a little sparkle to your holidays. I would love these. These are round-shaped, half-carat, total-weight diamond stud earrings. The real deal here, ladies. The original price is $750.